All right, how you doing? I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce your name. I believe it's
Meghna? Is that how you pronounce your name?
I believe so. So let's go ahead and read through this really quick. Basically, all right, right now we are almost at no communication stage from his side. And I know it is an impossible situation, and I never want to hurt another soul for my selfish wish. And believe me, I am trying my best to move on. Please tell me what outcome may come and what he really feels for me. He's not able to communicate, and I want to know his side. Excuse me. Also, a little bit. Also would like to know how I can take this abundance of love I am feeling and grow spiritually. Tell me if he's twin flame or karmic. And then something about career and finances. All right, well, I just want to go ahead and kick it off with maybe, let's see if we can get what outcome may possibly come and how he feels.
You know what? For as much as she's wanting, I feel we should do a 10-card layout, and then we'll kind of do your standard after that and maybe kind of hone in on some of the stuff. Does that sound okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Did you want to start it? Or?
No, go ahead and shuffle.
Okay.
You know how I do the 10-card layout, and I can explain the positions as
Okay.
you're laying them out. So this layout is traditionally known as a Celtic cross, just so you're aware.
Mm-hmm.
And for these readings, Rich went and bought a brand new deck.
Yeah.
So we're going to break it in with you.
2 and 3. Knight of Pentacles reverse jumps out though.
Interesting. A little glossy this time, huh?
Yeah. All right. So
Okay, so flip the first card over.
this one on top.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so this is you. This is where you stand, the way things are at right now, and it's a 10 of Swords reversed. Next card, and set it crossways over it. Yep. This is what is crossing you, and this is the Page of Swords. This one is always right upright.
Okay.
Go ahead and lay first card to the right. That one is in the distant past foundation. That is the 6 of Swords reversed. Go ahead. Next one right here.
Right here.
This one is more of a current situation. This one back is further back than about 6 months. That one goes way back. This one goes usually about 3 months back, 3 months forward. Kind of current stuff that's going on. This is the 3 of Swords in the reverse. Let's see, you have a place to set some. Next card here. This is your future, so further out than 3 months. This one is the Page of Pentacles reversed. And remember, you always have the ability to change the way you see things coming out. This is just what's most prevalent right now. You own a lot. You have a lot of power in and of yourself. Next card right here. This is the final outcome according to the other cards that are surrounding the question that was asked, or questions in this case. And this is a 5 of Swords reversed. We'll read the next 4 cards when we're done. So we're not even going to lay them out. Just set them aside. So we'll figure out how this random card plays into the situation here shortly. But let's start with card number 1, which is you. 10 of Swords reversed. And this is a really pretty deck, so we're going to hold it up for you to see.
I'm automatically seeing right here it's mainly psychological torment. With all these sword cards right here, mainly psychological torment that's going on the inside is what I'm seeing. I just had to throw that out there.
I would agree with that looking at all of the cards, but let's read them individually and then we'll kind of give the whole. This, she's done.
Yeah.
She feels just lost. Largely. I mean, that's betrayal, that's just being done. That is, honey, you gotta let him go. And it shows your struggle.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But what crosses her, she remembers the way it was.
Yeah.
Largely. She remembers the guy who charmed her in the beginning. And that's, I mean, look at him, the showmanship, and I've got this bright, shiny sword, and...
What?
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, I do see right here, it's almost now, it almost looks like it's principle of the matter. Like, I kind of feel like on some type of subconscious level, you're getting over it and maybe don't realize it. there's just still something clinging on to it out of habit.
Yeah.
Kind of what I'm seeing here.
That goes in there. Six of Swords reversed. You get a really, really pretty card. You want to see it? That's your distant past foundation. And Six of Swords, she's got a lot of swords.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of struggles
A lot of swords.
on that end. Go ahead. I've read these two primarily. I'll let you do
Well,
that one.
that's, like I said, I'm seeing mainly psychological torment over anything. This is all something that's going on the inside. And what I'm seeing here is I think you're a little bit more over it than you realize. Okay, is what I'm seeing.
There's another person involved.
Yeah. I was wondering about that. I was wondering what you were going to say about that. About a possible third-party situation right here with the Three of Swords in the reverse. All right?
That smacks hard.
Yeah.
There is another person involved. Whether, and I don't think it's on her end per se, or on your end per se, but I definitely feel that there's another person there.
Well, I'd probably have to see, because I'm not too terribly familiar with how these, but with this right here, these two right here, the Six of Swords reversed and the Page of Swords, like I said, because of the Three of Swords and the Ten of Swords both being in the reverse, I kind of feel like this right here, unable to move on from this and wanting this communication so badly, formed itself as a habit.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I really don't even feel like you actually hold on to the emotion like you did at one point. It's more of a habit at this point.
He's fostered that.
But as far as how he feels, I'm not really seeing anything too
Positive.
Not really. With the Knight of Pentacles being in the reverse.
His attention is elsewhere. But he's also fostering and helping to make her feel super insecure. And it's spreading out to not just love, but the finances and other aspects. She can do well with her job, but she's so focused on this that it's affecting her day to day.
I see that happen a lot in these readings. A lot. Because two of the most powerful energies on this planet are, whatever you want to call it, tantra, sex, love, and money. So they both intertwine together.
Only because that's what people throw a lot of energy into.
Right, exactly. And one can affect the other, and the other affects the other. You know, when the love life is going bad, that's going to affect finances. Okay?
Yeah, it's real hard to focus on what you do for work if your mind is at home with your loved ones.
Yeah, but I really kind of see that, especially with that Five of Swords being in the reverse too.
I was just looking at that card. She needs to let him go. Like, cut him loose and be done, honey.
He has no desire to fight for this.
You're
Not
the
really.
only one fighting. How long are you going to fight and beat your head against the brick wall when you realize, until you realize you're the only one that's fighting?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. I'm not. So as far as how he feels and an outcome, what I'm getting so far, after we're done here with this spread, I'm going to go ahead and pull another one just as kind of clarification and confirmation.
That's kind of what I was thinking is let's do this, finish this one, and then we'll jump into the other one that you typically do. I think that's fair,
Okay.
especially for her and the situation that she's involved in. Let's finish this out. We can slide these over. Okay, first card, flip it.
With it.
Yep.
Ooh, Six of Cups reversed.
That, I feel that one shouldn't be reversed though. Go ahead, we'll see. So this is you. This is your environment. King of Cups reversed. Hopes and fears. Ace of Wands upright. Final outcome according to the questions that you asked. And that's the Nine of Cups reversed. This one should not be reversed.
Okay.
That feels better.
Okay.
This one will change itself as she sorts herself out. But this Six of Cups, it needs to be positive. And it's a really pretty card. You've got kids playing and whatnot. But I'm telling you, that isn't necessarily her children. But more, this goes back to something from her childhood.
Oh.
Whether he's a childhood sweetheart or whether she has some lessons that need to be learned, maybe to fix that inner child, is this goes back to that inner child, is what I feel.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling like too that what made this situation so emotionally, was that there were a lot of things. There was an image in your mind, I think,
Pretty horses.
that was put there as a child, and of like something about what a relationship should be or what love should be, or like when you was a kid you had this fantasy about getting married one day and how and then when you first met this individual it sparked that.
But all little girls plan their weddings. Come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with that. And it got dressed up real pretty, and he helped trying to keep that going because he served a purpose for him.
Yeah.
And thing is she's got somebody in her background telling her, somebody older, somebody who's not necessarily physically older but more mature mentally, who's telling her this, you need to be done. And honestly, this feels more like a spirit.
Oh yeah?
To me. This feels like somebody, a spirit guide or somebody who's passed, maybe a grandpa, who is trying to guide her and steer her in a more positive direction. And the biggest reason why I say that is because of her hopes and fears. That's a very spiritual card.
Hopes and fears, the Ace of Wands.
Combine that. Good job,
all
Venus.
over the place. Well,
Combine that Ace of Wands, though, with this environment of the Knight of Cups, and I'm telling you that I very, very strongly feel that spirit, that someone coming through for.
really? Well, as far as that being in hope, since I'm kind of unfamiliar with the Celtic cross spread, hopes and fears being the Ace of Wands, the way I would immediately take that is that you're almost afraid to move on from it 100%.
I could see that too. But still, she has help to get there.
Yeah.
I do not, to answer your question, this is not a karmic relationship. Not at all. It's not even remotely close to being a karmic relationship. Final outcome, the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Would you rather be broken-hearted now or have it hurt 10 times worse 3 weeks from now, 6 months from now? Because honestly, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, basically, like I say a lot on YouTube, one of the biggest, it's almost like a virus now, that people enter into a relationship, one, the other one, or both of them, let's just say one, as an empty cup. And I need you to fill my cup for me. Okay, so that person fills your cup. Well, now they're empty. And then it just turns into this back and forth type of...
And you don't have anything to give back to help fill their cup.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. And it's an apt analogy. You can't fill somebody else's cup and fill them and make them full if you're not already holding that full cup. And you can't rely on somebody else to make you happy either. You have to make you happy first. Well, let's clean these up, shuffle, and see what you lay out.
See my shades on. I thought I could take them off there for a minute.
Oh, now the sun's back out for a second.
Yeah. All right. So, I'll just see what comes out here. Let's see, that was...
You want me to bring up his question?
Well, that did... Well, yeah, you can do that. But that did pretty well cover as well pretty much the outcome and how he feels.
She wants to know something about her finances and work, as she started a new life from scratch, family as well.
Okay.
We already answered whether or not he's a twin flame or karmic, and I feel that neither of those is the case as far as what he or how he is concerned.
So we want to look at career and finances on this one?
Very much so.
Let's get 5 shuffles here. There's 1.
We're looking at that Two of Wands in the upright, says volumes.
There's 2. 3.
Hold on, let's pull these. They all jumped.
Yep, that's what I was going to do. There's 4 and 5.
Hierophant. 9. So Hierophant is upright. You have got the 9 of Swords reversed, the Ace of Cups reversed, the Emperor reversed, 4 of Cups reversed.
Man.
You've got the 7 of Cups upright, the Knight of Wands reversed, 5 of Cups reversed, Death reversed, and the Tower upright. You've got some major changes coming on, honey.
Yeah. And I also see too, like I said, I'm even from the first spread, I'm feeling this big,
Sorry, that one needed to be upright.
yeah, I see that right next to these two. Because with that Tower and then the Death reverse, like I said, I kind of feel that,
Well, let's start at the top and work down, shall we?
okay, yeah, that's cool.
How you read it?
Well, no, not yet, but I just did want to, just like, that's what stood out real quick with this, there's, like, the universe is trying to do certain things for you and put you off on a certain path, okay?
Yeah, you're very much at a crossroads, which is what I was referencing with the 2 of Wands jumping like that immediately. And we'll get into these cards here in a second. Well, let's read the random cards after it.
Okay.
But looking at these, yeah, you chose the pathway. One path, you're going to continue doing the same mundane stuff you've been doing. You're not going to learn any lessons, and you're going to be stuck in your comfort zone. The other path, and you're going to get forced on it whether you want to go there or not, just so you know, is going to drag you back on the path that you need to be on. And it's going to hurt. Not all change is good change, but not all change is bad change either. And this is a Tower, and it's upright. This is sudden and immediate change. Followed by the Death card in the reverse. Death is not a bad card in and of itself. Everybody freaks out when they get that one. It's not a bad card, but it's telling you it is the end of a cycle. It is the immediate end of a cycle. And basically your karmic path is coming through and saying, all right, well, you didn't want to listen. Now we're going to force you to listen. Mm-hmm. And that relationship you're so hung up on, being that 5 of Cups upright, it's done.
Yeah.
But that's love. I mean, that's her love life. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything to add? I kind of railroaded
No,
you, sorry.
you're fine. You're totally fine. But the main thing that I'm seeing right here as well is that while you're on this path right here, the main reason why you're kind of staying stagnant in the 2 of Wands energy, rather than either Ace or 4 of Wands type energy and going forward, is because this Tower right here, that Tower moment has been a long time coming. But with that Death in the reverse, I kind of definitely feel that you've been trying to fight that change.
Because she feels weak.
Yeah. Very, very drained. Okay. And
that strength card in the reverse says you are drained. You don't know which way is up. You don't know whether to scratch your watch or wind your butt. You are just kind of mentally done. However, you're not always going to be that way. And overall, this is an extremely positive reading for you. Let's look at your next line up. Knight of Wands in the reverse. She's going to focus on herself for a while. Mm-hmm. She's going to, as you put it, fill your own cups. And not worry so much about having somebody else fill it for you.
Exactly. Yeah, I kind of definitely see too. It's interesting that we started reading it from this way. But when I do a spread,
usually I know.
Well, I don't even do it in one particular order. I do whatever yells at me first. You know, that's why.
That's how it's playing out. It's like a story.
You know? And with that Emperor reversed up there too. Oh, you see it being on the upright better? Okay.
Read it as a story. These are all because she's being forced on this pathway. That entire row is going to switch itself.
Okay. Yeah.
If those 4 cards had not played out the way they did, and then those 3 cards, those would have stayed in the reverse. But
yeah. This right here, the strength in the reverse is the reason why this Emperor was reversed. That's the reason why. But with that 4 of Cups reversed energy right there, I do see the ability to flip all those back up in the upright here. However, that 9 of Swords energy, I still see That's what it is right there that's keeping you stuck stagnant with this Nine of Swords, this anxiety and this paranoia. And like I said, when it comes to love and money, I really, really, really see this emotional trauma kind of standing in the way, and it's going to take a little bit of work to basically try to transmute that. And that kind of comes to the next point about how can I take this feeling of love and transmute it into something spiritual.
I'll help you with that in a second. You feel this card on a personal level.
Yeah.
Your anxiety, there's a book I want you to look into. It's called The Universe Always Has My Back. Or The Universe Always Has Your Back. Something to that effect. I want you to look into it. And I think that you will find that a lot of the anxiety you feel will go away. And I'm not out to, toot somebody else's horn, and I'm not out to play, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not looking to be an advertisement for somebody. But the second I saw this card and realized the sheer volume and amount of anxiety that you're feeling, especially, we were looking at finances and work life, not love. And you feel so much anxiety about your love life that that's all that pops up. Check into the book. I think a lot of that anxiety that you feel will go away. You do have a lot of help. And your karmic path, I think, is going to become very, very, very clearly apparent to you. But she's going to surprise the holy bejesus out of herself.
Yeah.
Wow. And the Emperor card, I don't think she realizes that through her work, and the more she focuses her energy there and on bettering herself and on bettering, focusing on the work side of things and what can I do to continue my education and learn as much as I can about this and how can I network and whatnot. The more she focuses on doing all of these great things for herself, that man of her dream is going to come into play. Mm-hmm. And he will be coming for her, provided she doesn't get distracted by all of the bullshit.
Yeah. And that, I kind of feel that Hierophant right there next to it. Because that, I kind of feel like this Emperor and this Hierophant energy, both of those are what's driving you right here. However, I think it's misguided. Mm-hmm. And that's what's causing this Nine of Swords energy.
I agree.
The anxiety and whatnot. And basically, figure out a why. Okay?
Figure out your why.
Yeah. Figure out your why. So that by the time, like, I'm going to take this exact same energy and put my desire for this into a goal. And
loving you could be that goal. Learning to love you very much could be that goal. You can't be there for somebody else and give them all of you if you don't have all of you to give.
Mm-hmm. That is also very much, like I've said this before, I think I've told a lot of people this story, but that is very much what I did for my career here in tarot. Very much what I did. I took a heartbreaking situation that I was very, very tied to, took that energy and focused it on a goal.
It works.
Yeah, it works. It absolutely works. You have to put those blinders on, laser vision, tunnel vision, right at that one goal. Want to go ahead and look at these?
Yep, let's look at our random cards.
Page of Swords reversed, Two of Cups reversed, and the Five of Wands. I'm immediately kind of getting...
You're telling me that Two of Cups will go right side if she focuses on the other stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing a lot of internal conflict right here that very could easily manifest in your external world. If you just keep letting these energies go all misguided everywhere, it either already has or it will manifest in your relationships that you already have with your friends or co-workers or whatever the case may be. And it's all about the Nine of Swords energy over the Page of Swords and the Two of Cups reversed. Anxiety over no communication and not coming together with this individual and standing kind of stagnant. That's what I see happening. But like she already told you, you have the power to change the direction of where you're focusing that energy. And I see it as being possible. Very possible.
That's why that Two of Cups can become positive. She can change so much. All she has to do is redirect her energy. And the finances that you're stressed out and you're worried about are going to turn themselves around.
Yep.
I think you'll be okay there. That's why it's not coming through.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not. The only thing I'm seeing kind of remotely related to finances here is the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. Is the only thing that's even kind of, and I think that's very indicative of all this misguided energy right here.
Yep.
You know, so it's not that you're not a victim of an inevitable outcome. Okay.
Absolutely not.
So, yeah, I definitely see a lot of potential here. A lot of potential. Now, how can you do it? The one thing about going to people for advice is I could give you ideas and advice and things, visualizations and images and whatnot and ways of thinking all day long. But at the end of the day, you have that answer within yourself.
Yeah, you know what works for you. About the only suggestion that I personally would give you is let work or something else that isn't your romantic relationships become your focus and your escape. Because the more you pour that energy into something else, the better off you're going to be, the happier you will be. At least for the time being.
Absolutely.
There's someone else who wants to come through. They just can't.
Yeah, it's very difficult to come through. Like, and this happens a lot. You see this happen a whole lot. Somebody will be pining over one particular person, but the person you need is right under your nose, and you can't even smell them. You don't even realize they're there, you know? So
Let's flip her a few more cards and see if we can get a bit stronger hold on the financial side of things.
all right.
We've got a few more minutes that we can do that for her.
Alrighty. Looking for some finances. Financial stuff here. Oops, that yelled at me. Ten of Cups.
That's a positive
That's
card.
very, very positive. Very, very positive.
Especially because it's upright. Keep in mind though that just because cards are reversed does not necessarily mean that it's a negative outcome. Some cards are actually have a better outcome being read reversed. Four of Pentacles reversed.
Okay, that's kind of good. That indicates to me immediately that kind of as an advice card, I kind of feel like, and this one came out. I feel like, Seven of Pentacles here. I'm feeling like this Four of Pentacles reversed is kind of telling you, almost like telling you that you already need to know you already know exactly what you need to do.
This is one of those cards that's better read reversed.
Yeah.
Because positive, he's a hoarder. And this one is saying you don't need to be so tight here because it wants to come to you. You just need to put the energy out there for it.
Put the energy out there and let it go as if you already know you have it. That's the trick. That's the trick.
And your efforts will be fruitful.
King of Pentacles upright, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse.
Answers our question.
Yep.
If she focuses the energy where she needs to, that's interesting. That card came out again.
Yeah. They do that sometimes.
So the Queen of Pentacles. But she'll get what she wants.
Yep. I see a little bit of imbalance with the Queen of Pentacles reversed and the King of Pentacles upright, but for the most part, I see it. And you know, I'm not a fluffy duffy tarot reader. I'm not saying this is positive just to make it sound good. You know me, so.
Yeah.
Blue Magician reverse there.
Secrecy. Interesting.
I'm going to get 3 more of them to jump. Knight of Cups, there it is. There it is. Oop.
Yep, you had them all pop out at once.
It happens. I do it all the time live on YouTube.
And
I
there's
don't watch her YouTube, so you know this.
Right. Ah, okay. There it is. The moon. I knew it. You are kind of whether you want to or not, but it makes the process a lot easier if you go ahead and go along with what the universe is trying to get you to do. You're being pushed through a period of changes, okay? And I definitely still kind of sense, you know, the wanting to fight to keep things the way they have been going and to fight to build a picture of what you already kind of think things should be. However, we all go through this.
I'm looking at that, and that, and even that one reversed, but more so the cards I've already indicated. They say that she loves her comfort zone so much to the point she's willing to delude herself.
Yep. Yep, most people do, you know.
But there's so much positive that wants to come through, Rich.
Yeah.
Look at this. She could have the life of her dreams. That's the 10 of Cups upright. With the man of her dreams, the 9 of Cups upright. She could have the money that she wants, that wants to come through. King of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles. I mean, she could have it all. But she's got to be willing to let it come.
And there's that Knight of Swords, too. It's trying to come in here for you.
Well, these two right there say he's trying to come in.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. The only thing you can do, and I really don't, well, depending on the connotations for you as sign, I try not to get too much into semantics, but I really don't want to use the word surrender. However, I will use the word allow. Allow. Try not to control too much. See, the Emperor right here, the cool thing about the Emperor in the tarot is that he, unless he's in the reverse, you know, traditionally, the Emperor has control, but he's not a control freak. He's in control. He knows what he's controlling, what he can and can't control, and doesn't try to fight. You know, there's a big difference between controlling and working towards something and fighting and trying to force something.
Indeed.
Yeah. So yeah, that's really what I'm seeing here. It's, again, with that Two of Wands just keeps popping out, that you're at that crossroads right there. And I'm seeing the two different outcomes, you know.
I agree. She's going to end up dumped on the road she needs to be on, whether it's kicking and screaming or not. But I'm going to tell you, you need to stop deluding yourself. I mean, there are several cards here that say you've got that down pat. And once you refocus, you allow the situations that need to end, that need to be done, to go. You also make way for the things that want to come in, that are already trying to come in. You allow for that to happen. And it's all about an ebb and flow. And right now, you're kind of stuck treading water, and you're exhausting yourself doing that. And that's not fair to you. So, I agree with you on this one, Rich.
All right. Well, that's about all I have to say on it. You have anything else, or was that pretty much it? All right. Well, I hope this reading helped you and mainly gave you the clarity and the guidance that you needed.
She got like 3 ratings in one
Yeah.
session.
Hey, that's fine. That's how it goes, you know. So.
Yep, sometimes.
All right.
And
well.
she had a rather complex situation anyway.
Yeah, it was too. So all right. I'm going to thank you again for purchasing a reading, and
thank you for your patience.
So I will see you on YouTube at some point. All right. You have a good one.